Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast for the English 12B final project that I definitely did not procrastinate until the last minute. I'm your host, Zoe Kissinger, and since I'm boring as heck when I'm by myself, I'm here with my lovely sister Zena Kissinger. Today we're going to be talking about feminine representation in animated media. I've broken this discussion up into 4 different categories. Western animation, which includes the shows that have been aired on TV channels like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, as well as Netflix original series. Movies, this refers to any animated picture formatted for the big screen, regardless of country of origin. Video games, I think that one is self-explanatory. And finally, anime, and this refers to animated series that come from Japan. I've also created a list of talking points for each category in case we get stuck. So without further ado, let's get started.
Yay! So Western animation. Thoughts on that?
I'm supposed to ask you on your thoughts.
Well, I feel like I feel like there's not as many, like, big issues as compared to, like, in anime and stuff like that, but there's still some problems. Like, Lola Bunny is very gross.
We're gonna get to Lola Bunny. Western animation refers to, like TV shows.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like Cartoon Network.
Oh, okay.
That sort of thing. Like
Okay.
Like we could talk about Steven Universe.
Oh, I have a good example for that, I think.
Okay.
So what's cool about Steven Universe though is that like they already had so much representation in that show, like with like being like the first like LGBT kind of relationship that Cartoon Network showed. As
I feel like we should give context for like what Steven Universe is in case.
Oh, okay. So I feel like that's your specialty. So you go
Okay,
ahead.
so Steven Universe is about this boy whose mom is a part of like this alien group of rebels called the Crystal Gems, and they're each named after a different gemstone, and they each have different powers and stuff. And there's only 3 left: Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. And it's really, really sweet, and it tackles toxic masculinity in many ways because Steven exhibits many feminine traits or not traditionally masculine traits despite being a male protagonist. And let's see, and like the family dynamic is just super, super sweet. But we can talk about what's more notable about Steven Universe is that every single one of the crystal gems, or just gems in general, are female presenting. So, and they use she, her pronouns, so obviously there's room for lots of good representation in there. Okay, now you can go back to what you were saying.
So, like, all of the crystal gems, too, seem to have different body types, but, like, they all seem to be relatively realistic. The one I'm thinking of in particular is Rose Quartz, Steven's mother.
Yeah.
She presented as like as a more curvy plus size lady, but like they didn't like over sexualize her outfit or anything like that. She just wore this pretty ball gown, and she was so darling, and she was kind of like Cinderella and stuff like that. And how, but then she had this very like, this very like feminine princessy kind of look while still being like really cool, and she had a sword and shield, and she was this super cool warrior like lady, and she led this huge rebellion.
Mm-hmm. Also, with the character Jasper, Jasper referring to the gemstone, not necessarily the name, she's like super, super like buff and big, and she's this huge warrior lady, and she's all concerned about like who's the strongest and things like that. And she is also a great representation of a great representation of a non-traditional body type that's been portrayed in the media. Like, when I first glanced at Steven Universe, I was very, very, very put off because oh, like, all these other characters look, like, weird and stuff, right? I liked Pearl the best, because she was the closest thing to, like, what I was used to seeing in television, which was a nice, small, dainty, Disney princess-looking character. But as I watched the show, I got to connect with all of the other characters who I thought looked weird in the beginning.
But then, like, more and more, we realized, like, these characters have more realistic body types, so I could relate to them, too.
Yeah, because, women in real life are all different shapes and sizes.
They're not just, like, a really skinny, they're not just, like, really skinny, like, there are other different kinds, too. So...
how about, why don't we talk about She-Ra? Because that is, like, excellent feminine representation.
True.
Yeah.
I never really watched it, but from when I was, like, in the room when you were watching that, I was like, wow, they actually look like people.
Okay. So, for context, because that's required in the rubric, so Netflix released this original series, which was actually a reboot of She-Ra, Princess of Power, which was a spin-off of He-Man that was designed for girls. But this new She-Ra, called She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, is about this girl named Adora, who used to work for the bad guys, called the Horde, but eventually she finds this magical sword in this forest, and realizes that what she's been doing is bad this whole time, and so she trains to become this, like, awesome warrior. Is she a princess? But she's kind of like the patron guardian of their planet. It's really, really cool.
So she's like a princess, but a knight. Is there a word for female knight? Knightess?
Knightess? I'm not sure if that's a word. Anyway, she's like the patron guardian of their planet, and whenever she goes anywhere, transformed as She-Ra, like, everyone treats her like a celebrity. They're like, oh my god, it's She-Ra! Wow, thank you so much for freeing our village from the Horde, or something.
But she's not cocky at all. She's just...
she's like, I'm just here to do my job.
And she just wants to protect people, which is nice.
Yeah. So, the entire cast of She-Ra, it does an excellent job of creating a diverse cast of complex characters, including excellent representation for transgender and neurodivergent individuals. Princess Perfuma is actually transgender.
Oh!
Yeah.
Wait, is she the flower lady?
Yeah, she has these, like, flower powers. Flower power. She has these nature powers, and she's all about, you know, let's just, like, take a deep breath and calm down and stuff. Let's see, they've had, there's, like, Princess Glimmer, Natasha, I forgot who, like, the wind lady was, but the point is, they have all of these different female casts of characters, but if you look back at the original show, they all look the same, except with, like, different colors hair. And the reason for that was because it was just easier back then to produce lines of toys. They could just use the same mold for the doll, just with different colors.
Oh, yeah. They did that with Barbie, too. Like,
yeah.
I remember, I'm sorry if this is off topic, but I remember I was at, because remember I went to Donna's house, and she and I just watched, I feel like this kind of counts as a TV show, because Barbie has, like, their whole, like, TV things, and we were bored, so she had this old Barbie DVD that was Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, and all of the models were just it's like these 12 sisters, and they love ballet, and with the exception of, like, the 3 youngest, I think, even they look like carbon copies of each other. All of them are, like, the exact same people with the same hairstyle and everything, just different shades of hair. Or
yeah, like the blonde, the brunette, the ginger, you know?
Oh, and they're all white too, so
Oh, great. Fantastic.
yeah.
Thanks for absolutely nothing.
Give us literally nothing.
So with She-Ra, right, you know, this show that was a spin-off of He-Man was like, oh yeah, we could just like market this towards girls, and then we can sell a bunch of dolls and stuff to go with it. And of course, they didn't have any diverse body types, because that would have been expensive, so that way they could use the same mold to create different dolls, just with different hair colors and stuff.
That's annoying.
It is really annoying, and however, with this new She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, the entire cast has been revamped, and we have diverse body types. We have muscular ladies, we have plus-size women, we have women of color are all represented, of all different
and wait, you know what's
ethnicities and
interesting?
shades and
You know
stuff.
what's interesting about She-Ra though too?
Mm-hmm.
They don't. I feel like most representation of LGBTQ plus members or of people of color, I feel like they always show them with like a struggle and not just them having like a happy story.
Not just them like thriving.
Yeah, so I feel like She-Ra did that because like they had the representation, but it showed them just living a normal life too, which is, I feel like that's good representation.
Yeah,
right?
and it just like, also I feel like with representation, it's always like they always make the representation like about the representation instead of just having it there and being like, okay, cool, this is a part of life.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the character Princess Entrapta, who is actually canonically autistic, and they portrayed this in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way. She doesn't have any like powers in terms of like, oh, I can shoot like ice, I can control water. Instead, she has this kind of like, her hair can like move separately from her body, and so she kind of uses it as an extension of her limbs. Like, she can use it to grab onto stuff. And she also really, really loves technology, because to her, technology can never be mean. It can always be worked on and fixed, and imperfections are beautiful.
Oh,
And
that's so nice.
I'm gonna talk about spoilers in a second, but she actually ends up working for the Horde, which are the bad guys, for a little bit.
Wait, why?
It's just because, like, they thought that, like, she died or something, and so they didn't go back to rescue her, and she thought that was because her friends abandoned her. And the people at the Horde were like, oh yeah, your friends totally abandoned you. Like, you should totally, like, work for us and, like, make our machines and stuff. But she ends up becoming really close to the leader of the Horde.
Catra?
No. The leader of the Horde... Catra's just one of their cronies.
Oh, okay.
The leader of the Horde is called Hordak. Yes. But she actually ends up working for him, becoming really close to him, and we find out that he's actually, like, from a separate, like, entire race of beings, but he was considered, like, I think he had a lot of health issues or something, so he had to, make that up with, like, machinery and stuff. Okay. And so Entrapta was talking to him, and it was really, really cute. She's like, yeah, like, imperfections is what allows, like, us to learn from our mistakes and help us keep going and stuff. And I think imperfection is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that really resonated with Hordak, and he was like, oh man,
that's pretty woke.
Yeah, and of course everyone's like, oh my god, they're in love! But, like, they just portray them as really close friends in the show, and I think that's really, really cute. I think that's good for now. I think we can move on to movies.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna talk about Lola Bunny.
We can talk about Lola Bunny.
I wanna get to one that's probably not as mentioned as much first before that, because I feel like everyone knows about Lola Bunny though, with Space Jam 2 coming out.
Okay.
So Moana.
Oh, yes. I actually put that in
The
notes. How her design and characterization breaks through the traditional cookie-cutter Disney princess formula.
Okay, so how Disney, I love that they just made her, like, all the previous Disney princesses before had, like, hourglass bodies, and they were super tall and beautiful and like,
very dainty.
What was cool about Moana, she was, like, kind of muscular, she was also, like, a little bit curvier, but, like, she's still, like, she just had, like, seemed to have, like, a standard body type that most teenage girls had. And I really thought that was cool because it seemed like Disney was finally making progress from having, like, not, like, the same models, not like the same models of princesses, because obviously, like, the animation keeps getting updated, but rather, like, I don't know how to describe it. Look, they all looked kind of similar in that sense, even though they were all so different, like with Jasmine, Pocahontas.
Yeah, they all looked like part of a matched set. And you can like, with the entire Disney Princess lineup, you can tell, like, the types of, like, standards they were going for. Like, at the beginning, it was all, like, princesses of, like, European descent. But then you get,
Princess
Mulan and Jasmine.
Like, Jasmine was a big deal.
And eventually Tiana, which was a really, really big deal. And of course there was controversy with that because, wow, you finally have a black woman.
Why did she have to be a frog for 90% of the movie?
Yeah, and the thing was, they used, for Princess Tiana, they used, her being a black woman, Disney princess, as part of all of their marketing. So it felt like a bait and switch where
the thing is though, in Princess and that I didn't realize. Cause like with Princess Tiana in the movie, they don't outwardly say like she's a black woman or anything like that. Like they talk about like the struggle she had to deal with, but not in like, I don't know how to describe it, like not in the most obvious sense.
Yeah.
They don't outwardly, like, say, yeah. Like, they do mention, I remember, when, like, she's trying to get that abandoned windmill for her restaurant, and then someone else bought it instead, and those two real estate agents are like, this might be hard for, like, a woman of your background. But that's, like, that's the most obvious they make it seem, and the rest is just her kind of trying to achieve her dream.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
But, back to the Moana thing. I'm so sorry I got off topic. You know what? I don't care, I'm not sorry. With Moana, so we had this girl that just looked like a normal teenager, but then Ralph Breaks the Internet comes out. That the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. I would not recommend it, it's not that good. Anyway, so the scene where Vanellope goes to the Oh My Disney website and she meets all the Disney princesses. Why does Moana now suddenly have the body type of all the previous princesses? And she's not like, Moana only came out 2 years prior to Ralph Breaks the Internet, and they already changed her design to make her look much skinnier than before.
Yeah, that's kind of what they did with Merida. Like, Merida was all about, like, I am not feminine at all. The only reason I'm wearing a dress is so that my movie can be historically accurate. She, like, loved having her hair all wild. She, like, didn't wear any of the, like, fancy clothes and stuff. And
when she was forced to, she kind of ripped them so she could be more comfortable and stuff.
Yeah, but then, of course, when the marketing for the Disney Princess thing came up, like, she's in, like, this super glittery, like, fancy dress. They, like, kind of changed her face look like it has like makeup and stuff on it, and her hair
I
isn't wild and frizzy. It's kind of like curly in like that traditional like made up curliness.
Oh, like kind of like not like frizzy and like kind of like
yeah, like they took a curling iron to it.
Wait, hold on. Let me look that up. Because I mean, I believe you. I just want to see like the Wait. Okay. So
this is her, right? And then that's like the redesign.
I don't like that.
Yeah, doesn't it look like they just like curled it on purpose?
Yeah. And now she like, yeah, her whole thing was like, she wore a simple dress and stuff like that, and she had a bow and arrow, but she didn't even in the redesign, they're not really showing that as part of her design like she previously had. And why is it so glittery and extra? That's not what Merida liked at all.
Yeah.
I really don't like that.
It's really just to sell dolls and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and like seeing her next to the like redesign of the other princesses where they updated it for like 2000, like for like the 21st century, I guess, where they're all glittery and stuff now.
Yeah.
Seeing her next to them, it's like, it's not cool.
Nope. Do you want to talk about Lola Bunny now?
Okay. We all know the deal with her.
Wait. Hold on. We need to give context because that's part of the rubric.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm adjusting
this
my
isn't my
sitting
project.
position.
I'm just here helping her.
Yes. So, Lola Bunny, Space Jam came out in the 90s?
I think in the 90s, yeah. Michael Jordan. It's basically Michael Jordan retires from the NBA and is whisked away to... No, it's not called Toontown, because Toontown's in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Which we will talk about in a second.
Oh, yep. He gets whisked away to, like, the land of
Looney Tunes
and Warner Brothers and stuff like that. And then
these aliens like come to Earth
and they're like, we challenge you to
we challenge the Looney Tunes to a basketball game, and if we win, then you have to come work for us on our horrible amusement park or something. And the Looney Tunes are like, oh no, like, yeah, we don't want that.
So they recruit Michael Jordan
to be their coach. And,
doesn't he eventually play for them, though?
Yeah, he does play with them.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so, as you know, the cast of Looney Tunes is mostly male. Yeah. And so for the movie, they wanted to introduce this character, Lola Bunny, who is literally just Bugs Bunny, but girl.
And she had, like, she had, like, this kind of... She had no personality.
She had no personality other than that she was girl and she was sexy. And literally, the other tunes were... They were quite literally wolf whistling at her. Like, there were wolves whistling at her.
Mm-hmm.
They were, like... She was super, super curvy. She wore, like, these super tight shorts and a crop top.
Really low crop top, too, when her like, boobs really kind of spill
Yeah,
out.
Also the point is, why does the rabbit have boobs? Rabbits don't have boobs.
I don't like that.
Yeah. And, like, her whole, like, the point of her being there was to be drooled over by Lola Bunny. By Bugs Bunny. Pardon me. However, she did hold out her own in the basketball game.
No, she was so cool because she was actually good.
She was actually good at basketball compared to, like, the rest of the cast.
It just bothered me that, like, why can't a girl just be good at basketball? Why did they have to make her, like, a sexualized object? Because clearly, she was being wolf whistled at by Bugs Bunny, but now there are, like, people, like, simping over her and stuff like that now.
Yes. So for the sequel that is coming out, Space Jam: A New Legacy, they released designs for all of the characters. The basketball uniforms look more similar to today's basketball uniforms with the arm sleeves and the intricate designs on the jerseys. However, people were not happy with the Lola Bunny redesign.
I think it looks fine, personally.
I think it looks fine. However, they gave her baggier shorts. Instead of a crop top, they gave her just a normal tank top, and she has the arm sleeve. She looks more rabbit-like instead of small and dainty. Her nose is a little bit bigger. However, they did take away the boobs, which is kind of weird in my opinion, because if a character has boobs and then taking them away, I get, like, they were trying to go for, like, a more sporty design, but then again, a woman that has these features, can she not be sporty?
Well, I feel like then that also goes against, like, what I said before, like...
Yeah.
But that's not, like, what I intended. I just meant, like, why did, like... Obviously, like, people with that kind... Obviously, like, people can have really, like, feminine and prominent features and still be athletic and stuff, but, like, I feel like how Space Jam originally did it, in the 90s, they were very obviously, like, marketing her as, like, for, like, sex appeal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Rather than just, like... Which... It's cool that they changed it and updated. I think the new uniform looks up a lot better.
The new uniform is awesome. They gave her, like, the flattering short shorts. They're not short shorts, but she does have, like, these other, like, longer shorts underneath it to make it more modest, and that's like the kind of thing I like wearing when I work out, is, like, the kind of shorts that has another layer underneath it, so that way, like, you can move around without worrying about, like,
butt stuff.
Yeah.
That's already kind of a problem too, being hollered at.
Mm-hmm. I feel like what would have been better is if they gave her this new outfit, but kind of kept, you know, they took away her boobs, and I get, why does the rabbit have boobs? However,
wouldn't genetically, like, a rabbit have, like, 6 boobs or something like
yeah,
that?
But of course they're not gonna portray that.
that would have been funny to see, though. Obviously, like, she's a cartoon, and you know what? It's just, like... And then, like, in the 3D redesign... too. That's, like... I don't know how this... I think it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it looks fine. I think we're all tuckered out and talking about Lola Bunny. Jessica Rabbit. Who framed Roger Rabbit? I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. Why did I give her a southern drawl?
I don't know, man. Okay. I don't idolize her. I do really like the outfit she wears, though, and her hair. I think it's really pretty.
I think it's awesome.
But I don't...
It's unfortunate, though, because the only thing we remember about her is her sex appeal. Whereas, if you actually, like, watch the movie, she's kind of, like, for lack of a better word, she's kind of a badass.
She clearly loves her husband a ton.
Yeah, she loves Roger so much.
And she loves Roger. She's, like, trying to, like... Doesn't she, like, try to, like, murder people or something like that?
No, I don't think so. I think she was kind of dealing with, like, the type of, like, harassment that comes with working in the entertainment industry as a woman. Like, she had to go backstage and play, like, patty cake with, like, the head of, like, Acme, which of course is like a metaphor for sex.
Well, yeah, but like, was she like, wait, was she forced to do that or pretend to? Because like,
I think I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've seen the movie.
I feel like she pretended. I may be wrong. I feel like she pretended to. For like, and it was to like for like the sake of something like that. I may be wrong. I do not know.
Okay, but of course she also was like awesome and very proficient with a gun.
That's what I'm talking about, I think.
Yeah. She like there was a part where she's like duck, and then like the main detective character like jumps out of the way and she like shoots him and stuff. Or she shoots like the bad guy. I mean.
Nice.
But of course the only thing we remember is like when her entrance, where she's like sticking her leg out of the curtain and singing "Why Don't You Do Right."
Yeah, because like here, you and I literally can't remember her personality though.
Yeah, that goes to show. All we remember is her design, her sex appeal.
Yeah, and it's like, hold on, I'm gonna draw this in notes, so you guys won't see it, but Zoe will like see, like, so like this her hair, and then she just
bazongers,
but then it was like
teeny tiny waist and then huge hips,
like imagine,
and then her gloves, and then there was like the slit with the
Oh
leg.
yeah, hold on.
Yes, that's basically it.
I basically drew her, and she looked like a triangle. Like she had like a triangle, like upper half.
No, when you think of hourglass body type, that's her. But like to an extreme. And of course because she's a cartoon, she has those exaggerated proportions. She's an icon though.
I like it's dumb because I genuinely like aside from like the wild body type and stuff like that, I think she's really beautiful. Like I love her like costume design and stuff like that. And like her hair, ginger representation. But
there also is like a question of why redheads are so sexualized, like Poison Ivy, Jessica Rabbit, Black Widow.
But then meanwhile Ginger, it's like that. But then I remember like mom considered like a couple of gingers who I will not mention. She thought they were kind of ugly at my old school.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because I remember one of them was actually kind of
really like people pretty. Think that like redheads in cartoons, oh my god, they're like so pretty. But then like redheads in real life, people are like, ew, gross. You have freckles, ew.
But freckles are so pretty though.
Freckles are adorable.
I wish I had more freckles. I literally fake draw my freckles, and I know that's like a trend, but it's because I genuinely wish I had more of them.
Yes. Let's see. I think that's it for movies. Video games.
When you said video games, I immediately thought of Samus.
Okay.
She's like from a game. She's from Metroid, right?
Metroid.
I'm not okay. For disclaimer, I'm not really seasoned on this topic in particular because the only two video games I really play are Pokemon, and I feel like we could actually kind of talk about.
How about we start with the beginning? The beginning of video games. Miss Pac-Man.
Okay.
So, way back when can you look up who created Pac-Man?
Okay. Is it okay if I talk about the things afterward though?
Yes, of course. And I've prepared like a tangent for talking about Street Fighter and Overwatch and things like that.
Wait, was Pac-Man was Miss Pac-Man like that was created after Pac-Man?
Yeah, Pac-Man. Who created Pac-Man?
I think Toru Iwatani.
Okay, Toru Iwatani. So, when he created Pac-Man, he was looking for a game to create that was fairly gender neutral. And I think he went to a mall to try and go see, like, what women were talking about. And so he noticed that a lot of them were talking about food. And so, he created a game about eating. You eat the pellets, right? You get the cherries, you win the game. Yay, it's simple, right? It's a circle, and then there's some ghosts. And then, yeah. And then Miss Pac-Man comes along.
Thank you, Steve Golson.
Thank you, Steve Golson.
I don't actually know who these people are, or like really know that much about them, considering I just did a Google search. I just did a Google search. And I hate how Miss Pac-Man looks so much.
Well, see, in the game, she's literally just a circle, right? She's just a circle, like
With
Pac-Man.
with a bow.
With a bow.
And that's so...
And lipstick.
I don't remember the lipstick in the game.
There was lipstick. She had a bow, she had lipstick, and she had, like, little eyelashes. And, like, a little beauty mark.
Wait, hold on. It's weird. I don't really remember. Oh, wait, I kind of see that. It's weird. When we played the game, like when we were little, cause remember when Woodside used to have the Miss Pac-Man machine?
Yeah.
Why did they get rid of those? That makes me so mad. Anyway, I literally just remember her being a yellow. Oh, yeah, I just remember her being a yellow. I thought she was just a yellow circle with a bow on her head. That would have been so fun. But then on the outside of the package,
she's still a circle, like, cause like regular Pac-Man has like a design of how he looks like outside of the little 8-bit sprite, which is like cool. It's like a little circle with like Mickey Mouse gloves and like kind of eyes, and he has a little nose, and it's very cute.
But why? Okay, I'm only just noticing this because obviously I didn't research this like you do. But why does it look like she's running away from predator?
A creepo? Yeah. Okay, so in the back, on the packaging, or maybe on the outside of the arcade machine, Miss Pac-Man, right? She's posing all sensually. She's wearing these high heels, and like this ghost is chasing her, and she's like, "Oh no. Whatever shall I do?"
But like the ghosts look like creepy. They have like weird pedo mustache, if that makes sense.
Bruh.
Hold on, and then
I think that's just the shading.
No, that's a mustache. So look.
Oh, weird.
I don't like that.
Anywho.
Wait, I want to compare that to the actual Pac-Man. Like the outside.
Look at him. He's such a happy boy.
He's such a happy lad. And
such a happy boy.
Wait, and then I'm gonna outside. Like arcade. Wait, hold on. Yeah, he's just this little friend, and the ghosts just look like really cartoon. There's a huge difference here.
Yeah, like the ghost just looks like, I'm gonna eat you. And then Pac-Man's like, haha, you can't eat me.
But then, like, wait, first
were they even legally allowed to, like, make Miss Pac-Man?
I don't know. This is the stuff you're supposed to figure out.
I mean, yes, I came, like, prepared. But in terms of talking about feminism, not talking about legalities and copyrights.
Man, okay. Also, side note here, what? American girls out here selling a whole Pac-Man machine for one of their dolls for like $150.
Bruh. Okay.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay. So, like I mentioned before, I'm not really seasoned in this topic because the only 2 video games I play are Pokemon related thingies, this one Japanese rhythm game, and and Animal Crossing, which that is the most wholesome game I have ever played. But okay, but I was talking about Samus before, the game Metroid. It's a first-person shooter game, right? Is it?
No, I think it's a 2D platformer.
Okay. Either way, so Samus has like this cool like mech kind of costume, but then Zero Suit Samus is underneath, and
it's a skin-tight bodysuit.
Skin-tight bodysuit, blonde hair, blue eyes, big hungungalugas, and
oh, I think I clipped the mic. Oof. Okay. Anyway.
Wait, they didn't hear that?
No, it means I accidentally, you see how like the little waves on here?
Yeah.
Like I went like all the way up with my laugh.
Okay, but yeah, I don't like that. But I'll compare Samus to Pokemon, where that's more of a children's game, so it's probably expected that there's gonna be that the designs would be more tame, which you'd honestly be surprised. But Pokemon, they have women in cool extravagant outfits, the most everyone. I feel like, so Pokemon, you know it, it's literally just you run into animal and animal, humanoid, or inanimate objects, and you throw and you have a ball and you're like, hey, I want you to be my friend, so let me just throw this at you and if you get caught, let's be friends. And then you go on this adventure to battle gym leaders who also have really good Pokemon. And then you do it until you beat the champion, who is the strongest trainer in the respective region of the game you're in. So, there's one particular lady in particular I'm thinking of is from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Cynthia?
Yes, Cynthia. So, Cynthia is the champion of that region. She is known as probably the toughest trainer in any of the games.
Seasoned veteran players fear her.
People who have been playing since the Pokemon games first came out in 95. It's 95 or 90. It's 96 because this is their 25th anniversary, and it's a big deal. So those people who have been playing since then, are so scared of her to this day. Probably they don't even go back and replay Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum because of how hard she was. And even all the other gym leaders and stuff in that game were extremely tough to beat as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Cynthia was she was super tough. You would be losing to her time and time again, and you would have to repeatedly go up, challenge the Elite Four, which are the four after you beat the gym leaders, there are these four trainers that you have to fight before you can fight the champion. But if you lose to the champion or one of them or one of the Elite Four, you have to start over, which is annoying, but it makes sense. And and you can't heal your Pokemon fully during all this, so it's very big challenge. But what was cool about Cynthia is she had she's super beautiful. I love her design, but she also was she wasn't really didn't give her a super sexy design either.
Yeah, she's wearing this big coat.
This big kind of poofy coat, but she still looked like a beautiful woman who could hold her own. And she clearly could hold her own.
Beautiful women.
Big, blonde, and beautiful.
Yes, that was her.
Then
can I talk about Street Fighter and stuff?
Chun-Li?
Yes. Okay. So,
this is her area of expertise.
Having female. You can still listen to this, Binu.
I am. I'm just gonna be also. I can multitask.
No, you can't,
Yes,
Binu.
I can.
Okay. So, having many female characters, along with many male characters, does not mean that you have good female representation, okay?
If all of them have big hongongalugas, or something like that, or big booties.
Okay, so let's talk about Street Fighter for a second, right? In the position, why don't you look up pictures of the Street Fighter cast, okay?
Okay. Isn't the main dude like Ryu?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all the guys in the Street Fighter cast are posed in the promotional artwork. They are posed in a way that's like, haha, I fight you. I'm punching. Yeah.
Wait.
However, look up Street Fighter promotional artwork. They're like, I'm punching you, and I'm
Oh.
they're all in like a fighting stance. They're like punching a tree or something. All of the women, right, have the cookie cutter hourglass, slightly muscular shape to them.
But they're like,
Also, they do.
Look at me.
They're not like, they're kind of posed like a pinup. They're like fighting, but in a way that like their boobs and butt are like the focus of the picture.
Yeah. Like in this poster here, why is like all these two guys, like Ryu and whoever this dude is, I don't know, we'll call him. Actually, no, we'll not call him anything. He looks boring. But they look cool. But then why is Chun-Li? And then like I don't know this chick here.
Yeah.
But then like why are they like look like they're trying to fight? But then they're like,
I'm a dainty woman.
I'm a dainty woman.
Anyway, now look at the cast of Overwatch. Like all the promotional art for Overwatch.
Okay.
So, Overwatch also has a big cast of female characters, and unlike Street Fighter, in their promotional artwork, they're kind of just like everyone's kind of just like standing there and showing off their cool gear, but it's a wide range of body types. You have skinny, you have curvy, you have plus size, you have a wide range of races and ages. That's especially a thing with like people in like Street Fighter, right? You have a bunch of like old men who are fighting as well.
But then why?
But all of the female characters are like young girls, right?
Wait, how old is Chun-Li?
I think she's like 19. Like in the first game, I think.
And then Ryu is like,
I don't know, 20s? Anyway, I know more about Overwatch than Street Fighter. So, Overwatch, right? You have all of these characters that are just a wide range of ages, body types. You even have a couple female robots. And, of course, one would think, oh man, like the female robot, are they gonna make the female robot sexy? No, they didn't. In fact, the first female robot that they released was actually this big, giant mecha tank who just had a female voice in her system. And then they released like a sleek and slender robot that was kind of more similar to Eve from WALL-E, but more humanoid. But we were fine with that because we already got the better like representation with the other female characters. So yeah, you can have a couple sexy characters in there like Widowmaker and Echo, but then you also have like these other characters. You have Ana, who's like this Middle Eastern sniper lady who's like old, and you can see the wrinkles on her face, but she's also like, she holds her own out there.
and then Mei is like this cute little techie person, right?
Mei is she's like a scientist. She was studying in the Antarctic, and she's actually like a plus size woman. Yeah.
Like
And then Zarya, who's like super muscly and is like, I will be the strongest woman in the world.
nice.
Yes. Okay. I think that's good for video games. Okay, you can continue.
Oh, okay. To anyone who ever wants to say,
No, Xena, we're not saying that. We're just not saying that ever.
okay.
She said something very mean, and we had to cut it there because we can't say that in a school-appropriate podcast. We can't wish ill will upon anyone, okay?
Please don't sexualize Animal Crossing characters. That is all.
Anime.
This is our area of expertise,
Especially Xenos.
Okay,
I made some notes here.
okay. So, alright, so the notes that, so I'm not fully, so I've seen the first note from the anime of the first note Zoe made, but, but first I want to preface this by, like, talking about the different types of anime as a whole.
Yeah.
If that's okay. So with anime, there's like all these different kinds of genres, like you would see in Western animation shows, like comedy, action, fantasy,
drama,
romance, that kind of thing, and like adventure. But then incorporated, like we were talking about before, with video games and stuff like video games and movies and stuff like that, there is unnecessary sexualization of a lot of characters, with a lovely aspect we like to call fan service. And this is literally just adding a character so they can kind of become like an object, and like no one focuses on their personality. They don't have to have a personality. All they have to have is big boobs and a big butt, and probably be humiliated with those in some sort of
manner.
And that's,
have you seen Fire Force?
No, you've told me about this though.
Okay.
Wait, but first, before I talk about that, they're going alongside like comedy and like the different kinds of genres in anime. There is also a category known.
So she wanted to say something inappropriate again, not appropriate for school.
I was just trying to say it like
we're gonna talk about shonen, okay?
Oh, okay.
So shonen is like anime that is marketed, quote unquote, for boys,
because it's not. There's no like romance. It's mostly like fights and action and violence, and it's edgy, and obviously girls can like this sort of thing, but it's mostly
I love shonen anime.
When you find a good, I'm not like the biggest fan of shonen, but like some of the like Assassination Classroom and Jujutsu Kaisen, which I'll get into that
we will talk about that in a second.
They're so good. Okay, so first you should probably talk about Fire Force, and then we can like differentiate.
Yeah, because I need to have like a good example and a bad example for each category.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. Fire Force. So Fire Force.
I'm gonna look up this chick too. So
okay, so there's a very specific character from the anime Fire Force. It's about these firefighters who fight fire demons, right? Each of them has their own unique style of fighting and their own. They customize their uniforms to add some character because it's kind of cool. But there's this.
Oh, hey! So they're actual firefighters, like.
Yeah, they fight fire with fire. It's kind of cool. They're like these firefighters, and they fight fire demons, but they all have fire powers as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so this girl Tamaki, oh, bless her heart. She is so sweet, and her personality is like great. She just wants to help people. But this poor girl was designed to be fan service. And amongst her, like, she has the big bulky firefighter jacket and pants on, but her pants are like so low rise that like you can see, oh my god, wait, she doesn't even have sides to her pants. It's like a belt, so you can like see her hips. and then she has like her jacket open, and then her bra is just there.
The thing is, Zoe, I feel like not her body type isn't even like that, like crazy though.
No, but it's the way that it's presented.
Oh,
Like the way she dresses doesn't fit her personality at all. And
oh yeah. Cause if like I feel like with people like who's that one chick from Gurren Lagann, like Yoko? Like, do you know who I'm talking about? Like I feel like
another character who wears kind of like bikini-esque clothing that should not be physically possible for her assets to even be wearing.
Like I feel like this kind of design would be seen on like Yoko or something like that with a tougher personality or something like that.
Yeah, but this girl is so sweet and so innocent, and the thing is, she always ends up in a situation where the protagonist of the show somehow gets under her shirt or somehow gets under her pants accidentally, which shouldn't even be physically possible, right? And she clearly hates it, right? And that's her gimmick. And it's like, I had to stop watching the show because it eventually became too much. Which is really unfortunate because the theme song is awesome.
I'll have to listen to it. Well, that sucks.
Anyway, that's our bad example out of the way. Let's talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. Good quality.
Maki Seinin.
Good representation, good quality, right? The uniforms, right? It's really interesting because usually the girls' uniforms for Japanese high school looks completely different from the boys' uniforms, and it's more sexualized. This is a completely different scenario. The girls' uniform actually looks very similar to a boy's military-style uniform, but with a belt cinching the waist so it looks more flattering. And none of the female characters are presented in a way that is over-sexualized, except for one character.
Which one?
Maki's little sister, or twin sister.
Oh, Mai.
Yeah, Mai. But that fits her personality, so it doesn't really matter. And the characters are like, why are you wearing your uniform like that? How is that practical in any way? And it's kind of funny.
But this show, they have, in my opinion, they have hot girls fighting stuff, but they don't have to be over sexualized or anything like that.
Yeah, and they're all total badasses. They all have multiple layers to their personality.
Exactly. And you grow with them. And the main character, Yuji Itadori, that's his name, Yuji. Okay.
Yeah, Yuji.
His best friend is the other girl, Nobara. That's his best friend, and they literally just treat each other. They kind of have a brother, a sibling dynamic in a way.
Yeah, they treat each other as equals, and the protagonist of the show treats her as either his equal or even that she's better than him, because he's completely new to this whole aspect of Jujutsu Kaisen,
so he doesn't belittle her skill. He looks up to her in a way.
Mm-hmm. As you can tell, we absolutely love this show, and the dynamic between Nobara, who's a freshman, and Maki, who's a sophomore, is the sweetest thing. Nobara looks up to Maki as an older sister and says, I really respect you, and I think you're really cool. Maybe you can show me some stuff. And there's this other character from a different sorcery school that's when you're a female sorcerer, they expect perfection from you. Not only do you have to be powerful and skilled, you have to be pretty and look pretty all the time.
That's the witchy chick. Right?
Yeah, she's a little witch and she's flying on a broomstick, and it's very cute. But Nobara, who's the female lead of the show, is yeah, screw that. I love myself when I'm pretty, and I love myself when I'm strong, and I don't have to be both all the time. And I'm great, and I love my friends, and I love how I am right now. I may look like a burnt chicken nugget, but I still love myself.
But she's self-respecting, and she doesn't have to and she doesn't have to be like, I'm out. If that makes
look at me.
You know who I forgot that one chick's name, like the blue-haired girl who wears like, what's cool is that like there's like these kids can like wear their uniforms in different ways and it'll still be like okay. This one girl literally wears kind of like a suit and tie as her uniform.
She's awesome. The entire female cast of that show is excellent. They put just as much time and effort into that as
character building of the main character and like his conflicts too.
Yeah. We could go on forever, but I think we've just about run out of time. So allow me to give my formal outro. Alright, dear listeners, that just about wraps it up. Thank you so much to our special guest Xena for sparing me her time and energy to do this, since I couldn't find anyone else to talk to. And a special thanks to all of you for tuning in, or in this case, taking the time to click on the play button and listening to my podcast. If you liked it, please send Mr. Commando a heartfelt email telling him to give me an A on this project. And if you just so happen to be Mr. Commando, hello, I'd very much like an A on this project. I spent many hours stressing over it, but not doing any actual work. Please and thank you.
That's Zoe, you're just
Anyways,
diminishing your cause.
Anyway, thank you all very much for listening, and if I decide to do something like this again, I will see you all later. Bye-bye!